Welcome back to another episode of My RC Life. Today we install a new set of atomic RC shocks on the Traxxas Fiesta rally car. Let's go! What's going on, everybody? Traxxas Mike coming at you today from the shop. Today we're going to work on the old rally car a little bit. You'll have to excuse my room. It's a bit cluttered and full of junk right now. I got a big mess going on. Alright, what I got going on this today is I got these new shocks here. Set for the front, set for the back. These stock ones, every time I jump it, I jump it really big or crash it. It blows these plastic caps right off the end of the shock, and then you blow all your fluid everywhere, which is why there's like extensive dust and dirt on the back of this. But yeah, we're going to take care of that problem now. These are from Atomic RC. They're for I think you can put them on a rally, a rustler, a slash, maybe even a stampede. I'm not 100% for sure on that. But they go on pretty much anything with this platform, this type of platform vehicle. They do come with your sleeves and your mounting hardware, so that's cool that they include that. First thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get the tires off, because it's going to be easier to get at things with the tires off. I better sit down, doctor's orders. I felt my legs starting to sting a little bit, so I was walking in place, but I got my stool right here so I can sit down in case my mom's watching. It's surprising how, what kind of shape that these plastic wheel hexes are in compared to the ones on the Rustler. The Rustler tore these ones up so quick, and this just running smaller tires, I think is definitely what helps it, because these ones in the front, I mean, they look almost new. And I've never put an axle shaft in this car yet. The back ones are getting a little bit sloppy, but I ain't going to replace them until they're ready to go out, or somebody sends me some upgraded ones or something. Ooh, this is another time where you can look at your bolts. Look at that hinge pin, almost ready to fall out. Got my 2.5 and 3 millimeters in my power tools mounted up, because that's going to be the bolts I use the most. Tighten this little guy up here. Bam. Them aren't loose, it's just beat up from hard landings and stuff. And taking it where it's not supposed to be. I run this thing off-road like a monster truck, and it's definitely not supposed to be ran like that. I think you should be having a slash if you want to do that, not a rally, because this baby's really low to the ground. Okay, we got them tires off. Take it easy on the old legs there. I'm going to unscrew this bumper, loosen these screws up a little bit, and put it back in place, because it ripped the holes right out of it. I think you guys can see that there. And I just put bigger washers on there. And then, oh, I didn't even realize that's supposed to go in that little gap there. Yeah, I actually was putting this up here and putting the bolt down on top of it, but it's got a gap it's supposed to go into, a little slot like that. Huh? You learn something new every day. Now I don't need them washers on there anymore. And just put the screws back in. Just like so. And that brings my bumper up a lot too. There. Now before I could just pull on that and pop them out. But yeah, that's going to be a lot better. Cool. I may even trim a bit this bumper off because you can see it's bent down, this foam. Or maybe I could just reform it back up. I don't know. But with it hanging down like towards the ground, it's going to catch stuff easier. Yeah, that don't look bad. I guess it looks better anyhow. All right, get off them legs. All right, I'm going to take the top bolt out of these front shocks. Now they use the shoulder style bolt there. Take the bottom bolt out. Now these shocks aren't horrible shocks. They are tunable. You can put these little spacers on there, and there's different spring rates. Like these are the black ones. They got little lines on them. You can look up on the Traxxas website which ones are tough, stiffer and softer and stuff. These ones look savable for, you know, maybe if I put something else together someday. So I'll save them. Then let's get these back shocks off here. Same thing on the back. They hold the shoulder screws on the top. All right, just like that. Now, as you can see, this shock here is a little worse for wear. She's got a bit of a... maybe if I take this bottom off and this spring off, you can see it a little bit better. There you go. Now that one's a little worse for wear, but if this is all you have, you can fix these. You can take this bottom off here. You may have to hold this with a pair of pliers. Now, you do not want to grab a hold of it like this with a pair of pliers and spin this off. What you want to do is grab like a pair of nipper pliers, and you want to put it right on the very start of where the threads are, right there. And that'll hold it enough to spin that off, and you're not marring up your surface right here, because it'll start to leak. Because like if you mar that up and it goes up inside that shock repeatedly, it'll tear out your seals inside of there. So that's why you do that. So yeah, you get that off, and you can clamp it in a vise. You can clamp it in a vise here. You see see right there is where both sides are touching. But if I tighten it down, it'll start to straighten it out. Okay. Look how much better that is already. Or you can lay it on something, if you don't have a vise, on your table and pound it with a hammer on the high spot. But yeah, this will actually run all the way up in now, where a minute ago it would only go about to there. So that would be a runnable shock. You know, if you didn't have one, you were at a race or you were bashing, this is all you had, you could straighten it out and bam, you're back in business. Okay, now these ones here, I've already filled them with oil. They do not come pre-filled with oil. I think I'm going to put these way towards the top, because that feels about the same as what these felt like. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Maybe a little bit down. Get your other one and match it up to the same spot, you know. Looks pretty close to me. Now these are the shorter of the two. They go on the front. All right, we're gonna put them back in the same spot in the middle position. I'm not that huge into suspension tuning because I just do general bashing. I'm not a racer. I wouldn't mind to get into some races, but there's just nothing around here. I'm in the rural part of Michigan, you know. There's not a lot of racing going on right here. All right, you don't want it tightened right down yet. Okay, same thing on the top. Okay, now we're going to get the bottom screws in. I'm not going to open up any of this stuff. Now that I don't even need to use these, but maybe like on a Slash or a Stampede or a different type of vehicle, you may need to use those, and you may need these pan head screws. But mine go on all with button screws and shoulder bolts. So I don't need any of that stuff. I'll just put this in with all my nuts and bolts. I'll keep them for something else. All right, get these bottom bolts in here. These shocks were a tiny bit shorter than the stock ones, just, you know, maybe 1/16 of an inch. So I am going to move them up one notch just so it keeps a nice, I don't want it to lose any ride height, you know. Okay, that one's on. Beautiful. Same thing on this side. We're going to go to the very inside one to achieve highest ride height we can. And bam, just like that. All right, now to the back. Same thing as the front. I'm going to start with the shoulder bolts first. You know, this is the top, that's the bottom, if anyone didn't know that. Oh wait, I got to make sure these are set. Yeah, see, I had them set a little bit different. Or they were set that way from the factory. I haven't really played around with any of the settings yet. What's up, kiddo?
Not much.
Casey's in here with me. He was supposed to do this make his own video, but he didn't get to it. That's okay. Alright, so I'm going to get these on here. Number 2. Alright, last 2 bolts to go on the bottom. Very simple to do. I'm also going to take these to the very inside hole, just like I did on the front, to achieve maximum ride height. I start them a little bit by hand, and then I go to the power tool. Ooh, going in that inside hole, I don't got much room to put this power tool in there. Oh, I'm kind of looking at this left rear axle shaft. I was saying that I've never replaced one on here, and some of them were getting pretty wallered out. Well, I'll show you. This one's probably the worst out of all of them. I'll bring the camera down and show it to you in a second. That one right there, that one's pretty wallered out compared to all the other 4. See it, Case?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
Now I just gotta reinstall these tires, guys. Casey's gonna take these and put them away in the shock box. Here, you'll have to find the shock box. I think it's clear with a white top. Got that rear tire on, and yes, my rear tires are off from like a slash, because the rear tires that were on it I smoked off. All right, get this rear tire on here. On the other side, I used to have my 1/4-inch sockets up here, and I had another drill set up with a 1/4-inch socket adapter on it, and I would have that out here for putting the tires on and off quickly with the power tool. But whatever, I don't take tires on and off that much. Alright guys, so we got all 4 of those shocks put on there, and you'll notice, since I fixed that too, between this and the new ride height, look at how much higher off the ground this thing is riding now. That's kind of what we needed, because like I said, I do just like general bashing. I'm not running this on like a rally course track or like a carpet track in an enclosed stadium somewhere. Like this gets ran the same places the Max and the X-Max gets ran. So yeah, it definitely needed a little bit more height. This thing was almost down touching the ground. It was probably right about where my hand was. So having this bumper up higher, mounted correctly, and I bent this up too, if you'll remember, that really made a lot of difference. So, all right guys, that's it for now. I'm Traxxas Mike.
And I'm Casey Chaos.
From My RC Life, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.